What's going on, guys? It's me, your host, the one and only 2Toast. And today, as you can tell by the title, we got another life story for you. Oh yeah, and it's gonna be a pretty funny one, I think. This is one that I look back on with fondness, man. So thankful that we're not in the situation, that we don't do the same things that we used to. So let's go ahead and get into the story. It was just like any other day for us, me and my homie, we was just chillin'. We had a little bit of the ganja, a little bit of the devil's lettuce, and we was looking to burn it down, you know what I mean? Burn it down. Smoking that fat dubs all day long, 'cause that's what we was doing back then, you know? An eighth of weed was a good amount, we was happy. So what we were doing at this particular time, because we didn't really have anywhere to smoke. It wasn't like we could just walk out back or spark up in our room. We couldn't have anyone knowing at that time. Our parents still weren't fully on the boat. I don't know about my homies, but at least my parents, they weren't on that boat with me yet. They wasn't there. They wasn't accepting. So what we would do is we would drive around and try and find the best and most remote spot that we could find to be able to toke up in. So we had our legless vision on, we was scanning, bro. We was scoping, driving around, looking for a place. And we had already smoked in relatively a lot of dumb places, man. So this time in particular, we were looking for the best place that we could find where no one was gonna scope us. No one could scope us out. No 5-0 was gonna be rolling by. We was on the look for the spot. And we're driving down the road, and just it catches my eye. It catches my eye. This complex I had been eyeing for a minute. It wasn't too far from where I was living at the time, man. And this complex, every time we would drive past it, it was relatively remote. Not too many cars were like ever in the plaza, and it was a relatively big plaza. So the cars that were there were pretty spread out. Pretty spread out. So I thought, this is going to be the perfect time to seize the moment. Let's do it. Let's smoke in the spot that I've been thinking of for a while. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. So here we are. We pull into the parking lot and we're scoping out our parking spot. It's got to be a good one. We got to find one with some nearby bushes, some trees that kind of obscure the vision from the road. If you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. You guys know what a good smoking spot looks like when you gotta toke up in the car, you know? So we are wandering around this parking lot like a dog looking for its piss spot, and we finally see it. We see the tree. We see the bushes, and we see it's a nice corner spot, pretty remote, no cars really nearby. There was a few parked cars near like this business. It looked like it was a closed business. It was either after hours or it was a day that the business just wasn't opened. At least that's what we thought. So we're like, yes, we're here. We found it. We take out our stuff. We start packing the bowls. It's a good time. We're smoking, keeping an eye out for the 5-0, making sure that they can't see us from the road. And keep in mind, the car that I'm in right now, the car that we're in, it has absolutely zero tint, -2 on the tint scale. You know what I mean? Here we are, just smoking in the car. We're thinking we're in a damn good spot, man. We thought we had it on lock. As I'm just looking around, making sure that no one, coming out to their car to grab their used Coke that they left in their car for 9 hours, and they're like, oh, let me go take a sip of that. And as I'm just kind of looking around, I look at my homie, and I'm like, does that building look slightly peculiar to you? And he's like, what you mean, man? What you mean? And I'm like, look at it. Just take a good look. We're both looking at this building, and as we're inspecting the building closer, whipping out our monocles, taking a good look at this building, yeah? The building that we thought was a closed building that didn't really have any business going on. And what do we read? What do we find out this building actually is? It turns out this building was a rehab center. We was just smoking and toking up in front of a rehab center that wasn't closed, mind you. It just had either patients' cars or family of patients' cars parked out in front of it. There was only a few of them, but still. it definitely wasn't closed. I don't think that place was closed. There could have even been like a class instead. I don't know. There could have been something going on in there. Who knows what was going on? Who knows what was being talked about? Someone probably seen us from the window and was like, bruh, these two delinquents over here smoking up in front of a rehab center. What? Once we noticed that, bruh, we just started cheesing. I don't know what it was. It's not even like, it was just weed. It's not like we were shooting up heroin in front of a rehab center or doing lines of coke or fucking methamphetamines and shit. No, we was just smoking some weed. But I mean, still, that kind of cheesed us out that we thought we was in the most clever spot. We thought we were in a damn good spot. And it's just funny that it turns out that all the places that we could have smoked and all the places that we have smoked, this one particular time, it just so happens that we chose right in front of a rehab center. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's the worst spot we've smoked, because it's definitely not. Yeah, it may have that irony to it, but in all honesty, like, the actual spot itself, man, it was a pretty good spot. Like, I definitely would choose that spot again over some other ones that I could name off the top of my head that I've participated in the act of going under the influence of the marijuanas. You know what I mean? So yeah, guys. This was the story of the time that me and my homie, just chilling on a fine Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever the day was, who knows, man. And we ended up choosing a spot, and the best spot that we found that we could think to find was right in front of a rehab center. And who knows, one of those cars could have very well been like an undercover cop car. We don't know. And we'll never know. Gladly no one came out to us and like confronted us, you know, because that would have been pretty awkward, man. Story could have been a lot more crazy, but I wanted to thank you guys for taking the time to click on this video, man. It really does mean a lot to me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Till the next time, guys. See ya.